60% mana cost. That's like growing by. I lose 16% damage resistance. Always difficult choices. That's good. You are not letting me do my thing. Let's go. Walking.
They were genuine friends. We were so young, with nothing in the world to really concern us. There was no place for malice or resentment. I don't care anymore, they're not worth my breath. I was in a place of promise. Lyria's magic shined throughout the halls. New and interesting people were everywhere. None as interesting as that night spirit, but promising. I learned more there in 2 days than I did my entire life elsewhere. In fact, I owe my mentors a debt of gratitude. Were it not for them, I would never have found it. I know he's called Godflow, not Godwood. For a time I called him Godwood. Onwards and onwards. Imperativa.
so I need to murder them here, it seems. Reach the eldest. Will do. Aha, someone is waiting. Well, one of the eldest, it would seem.
How curious. You are mortal, but your steps resound with a burden greater than any one mortal might ever hope to bear. More curious still is your presence here. The great scale is not idly moved, nor is my reverie broken without cause. What is your purpose?
To wake you without cause. To ask silly questions of a powerful being. Such as were the eldest.
Kael'rod and I have lived long in this world, it is true. But our choice was not driven by some manner of self-preservation. It was to learn. All Fae return their life energy to Ashara on death. But the nature of Winter Fae, their essence, lies in the decomposition and decay of all things. Kael'rod and I have forsaken being reborn anew to embrace the rotting of the corporeal world among us. That is where nature truly lies.
Okay. Can you tell me about the tenders?
Of that order, I was the first. I had the strength to answer the Weeping King and take the burden of other Fae, but I could not hear the sorrows within them. And so I was to honor the Midden and tend its depths, so that nature would forever know that we have honored her call for decay.
Okay. What about the Delvers?
They are the heart of this collective. A Delver can take the sorrows into their being like the Weeping King did. Becoming a Delver means mastering his art.
What about the house?
In the beginning, it venerated death. But in time, the house was revered by Winter Fae for its sacrifice.
Until good God flew. Tell me about you.
Of the Weeping King's disciples, we were the first. Standing on the edge of the Midden, we bore witness to him, transforming our people into something more. We vowed to never let that memory fade. Though death did call, we remained in this world, so that the knowledge of the Weeping King persisted.
What about the other one?
Along with the Weeping King, it was Kael'rod with whom I watched the rise of winter. We were fated to be the first Tender and Delver. I think... too long have we been in these contemplations, isolated. When this affair is over, I think we will reunite. In earnest.
6! Tell me about the sorrows.
The sorrows. They were meant to stand as a monument to the work of the house. And now they stand on being used as a tool for war. Despicable.
How do you know? Miss Arain must find them.
And so I am finally exhumed. But Bizarane is not the King of Sorrows from whom I hoped to draw summons. Indeed, I know the location of the Sorrows. They were never meant to be retrieved, but neither were they meant to be exploited. Before I go, I must request that you rouse my counterpart, Kael'rod. The ages have sent our paths together. I will not break it now.
Okay. This is obvious. This is obvious. But I'll talk about that later. What are you doing here, besides kneeling?
A penance of sorts. Long ago, Kael'rod and I served the Weeping King. Of Tenders and Delvers, we were the first. But the Weeping King soon left this world for Ashara. And when he did, the house stopped serving death and began serving the court of winter. That was not what we followed the Weeping King for. So we came here to contemplate death. It is what the Weeping King would have intended.
Okay, I'll wake him up.
When we first came to this place, We vowed we would not see each other until our contemplations were complete. I thought that day would never come. As I was on one side of the scale, you will find him on the other. I will leave this cell and wait for you to find him.
Okay. Tell me about your master.
The first king of the House of Sorrows, and perhaps the greatest winter fae to walk these lands. He taught us to delve and to bear the burden of winter. But when the realms of winter were freed of this burden, the Weeping King left this world, never to return. It has been long since that transpired. So long, in fact, that I cannot even recall his face or his presence. But it was powerful. Being in his presence was to know the sorrow of our race.
Okay, now we can talk. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
You are being played like a fool. A fucking
You
fool.
have come.
A freaking fucking motherfucking fool. Why? I know who he is. Basiraini is obviously the traitor. No one knew where the fuck those sorrows were. No one could get to the sorrows unless you do what I'm doing right now. Therefore, I am working for Sharwin, obviously. And who sent me here? Who has been nudging me forwards? A fucking piece of rainy. Fucking piece of rainy. That's who. That's who. He is Sharwin. He's the traitor. So freaking obvious. Not too late to turn back, is it?
Sorrow proceeds, immortal. It is almost enough to shift the great scale on its own. It has been centuries since my reverie was last disturbed. For what cause are you here? What could a mortal possibly want with me?
Questions? Tell me about your master.
Among our kind he was, and he remains singular. None could do now what he did, to naturally find the sorrows in others and delve into their being. And though he formed the House of Sorrows, though he saw the birth of the Court of Winter, he did not remain. By choice or fate, he went to Ashara, never to return. I think this war has exhausted all other Winter Fae who knew the Weeping King as he walked. But though Alarain and I remain, I can scarce recall him.
Or Bizarraini is the Weeping King. Maybe. Tell me about you and your friend.
That moniker holds no meaning to a true Fae. What is age to the ageless? To the immortal?
Aha! I knew it. That's logical. Agents is immortal, but they can live. Just like the elves in Lord of the Rings. They can choose to move on. No one wants to, apparently. Tell me about the Order of the Tentas.
They are Alarain's orders. In many ways, they are the stewards of the House of Sorrows. While delvers deal in the spiritual, tenders see to the corporeal.
Then tell me about the Delbas.
Though all of the House are the followers of the Weeping King, the delvers are his true disciples. They can delve into the sorrows of another, just as he did.
Tell me about the house.
It was formed as a way to keep the winter traditions of decay and rot while building a winter court. But in time, we lost true sight of what the essence of winter was.
Cold, maybe. Tell me about the sorrows.
The Sorrows are the inheritance of the House of Sorrows, so to speak. We have been working and delving for centuries, collecting and shaping this magic. But we had never thought that it could be exploited. Do the Tuatha revere nothing?
Tirnak, the great, the beautiful, the sexy. Tell me about your companion.
Amalur and I have been apart for some time. I think it will be good when this business is over to resume our meditations together.
Yeah, sex. It's not obvious. Tell me about you.
I was another of the wretches that the Weeping King saved when he first walked into the Feylands. When he pulled the rot of winter from me, I learned how I too could do the same. So I learned the finer points of his magic and followed him as the first delver.
Israel must find the Sorrows in order to use them to advance Godlow's objectives. Hear my words.
I have heard of your work in reaching Amalur. If she wishes to aid this King of Sorrows, then I will echo her approval. But learning the location of the Sorrows is not merely answering a question asked. More than knowledge will be needed to reach the Sorrows.
Yeah,
Very well.
a map that tells you exactly where to go. That's another thing I need. Move! You fucker, run!
And so the eldest look upon each other once more. It has been some time since I have seen Amalur mortal. For that I am thankful. But Bizarrain will need more than knowledge to reach Sorrows. He will need a key which lies in Sincere, the hollow of the Weeping King.
Okay. How do I recover the key?
That is correct. It is a difficult thing to ask of a mortal.
What?
A Fey would be better suited to navigate the hollow. But time is fleeting. But you will not perform this task alone. One of us will aid in recovering the key from Sincere, and the other will instruct Bizarrain on how to reach the Sorrows. It falls to you to choose.
Does it matter who I choose?
Not for your end goal. Both of us are familiar with the Weeping King's Hollow. But I wield magic, and Amalur her Fey blades. It will be a hard road, mortal. We can complement your skills or bolster them.
I say compliment, so give me her.
Let it be so. She will accompany you to Sincere, and I will return to the House of Sorrows to instruct Bizarrain on how to claim the Sorrows. I wish you luck in your task, mortal. Keep well after Amalur. Very well.
I guess that's what I do when I...
Then we leave Kelrod to the instruction of this King of Sorrows. It is perhaps the best choice. It is suited to him after all. I will shadow step to Sincere and wait for you there. We must move quickly. Goodbye.
I think that's what I do when I disappear. I fast travel, that's what I do. Okay, let's get out of here. And yeah, I've been played for a fool. And I'm really annoyed. It took me so long to realize who was the true enemy. Who seemed on our side. Now it seems logical he was appointed by the Tuatha to the post. He owes them. If it was not for the Tuatha, he would be just a simpleton. I guess we go to the castle, don't we? for the bard, why not? How many fuckers have I killed? Until... Maybe this one? Yeah. 3 vulcanize. There he comes.
You have done it. You have rid the gates of the Bolgan. As promised, I have another tale to be told.
Tell me then.
The very first Erengastir arrived here generations ago from Mel Senshir, before the final tower was raised, when the great giants of Cluracan were but saplings. On that very first morning of his arrival, while the sun ascended the sky, Gastir scaled the heights and saw below him the great keep of the merchant on Scylla. Gastir could not bear such an intrusion on his new ancestral homeland and swore an oath. By right of mine and sword in hand, I will not forsake our native land. Now that you've seen Castle Gastir, we should move on to the final stop on our journey.
Which is?
The last thing I want to show you is near the coast, on the cliffs overlooking the sea. It's the best story yet. But again, it must be freed of Bolgan.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Do it, I'll fucking do it. Need to kill the Volgan anyway. Guessing is out that thing. Why not? Let's contemplate it while he runs here. Beautiful sunset.
Hello. There. You've cleansed this place of the Bolgan. I shall tell you the last tale, the best of the lot. Believe me, these cliffs were made for my story.
What happened here?
I've told the tale of the first Erengastir, he who discovered these lands. And I've told the tale of his descendant, the last Erengastir, he who lost these lands. My final tale is that this last lord took a young mistress to his bed, a servant named Wilda Brandon. They had a child he refused to claim as his own. To assuage his guilt, he wrote a royal letter in which he decreed to her and the child great wealth. But rather than take that letter, she took her own life. Here, that woman was my mother. Hear me, friend. I do not have much, but I will offer you all that I have to find me that letter. The letter that broke my mother's heart.
Okay. I saw that one coming. What will you do with it?
I will read it, and I will finally know if what my mother told me was true. Then I will destroy it. I want nothing to do with Augustius. My mother never wanted his kingdom. She only wanted his love. That letter has haunted me for 10 years. I will now be rid of it. Of him.
Idiot. Alright, I'll do it, why not?
Friends? Yes. I suppose we are friends. I'm not sure where to look for Father's letter. Father. Strange to call him that. I would think he'd keep it near, lest such revelations be discovered. The castle. That would make some sense, wouldn't it?
Yes.
I'll be back at camp. Be careful. I would feel terrible if anything happened to you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm sure I'll kill 5 Bolgan in the castle. Supposedly over land, over water. Let's kill Bolgan.